Robert Borosage, President Obama today said that the Democrats had a real shellacking, and my first question to
That's for sure.
and my first question to you is, what could the Democrats have done differently in this political environment?
Well, it's clear what voters were saying, right? They are very upset about the economy. They're very angry with a Washington that hasn't been able to fix it and make it work for the middle class, and at the same time has bailed out Wall Street. And it's that combination of the failure to get it going and the inability to tap into the populist anger about Wall Street and the banks that drove us over the cliff that I think hurt Democrats badly. Democrats, because they were the governing party, because the president's in the White House, not because of any policies specifically. I don't think there's any evidence at all that the public is turning conservative, that it is adopting the conservative remedy. They're very suspicious of Republicans. Republicans rank still lower than Democrats in public favorability. They're skeptical and wary about the cut spending agenda.
Right.
And they're not really even for cutting taxes. They're looking for answers to get the economy going. They don't think Republicans have them, and they're angry that Democrats have them.
Well, what did you think of President Obama's response today to the election results?
Well, I think he had to come and show that he had heard voters, that he cared, that he was prepared to sit down with the new leadership and try to get something done. I think that's all sort of inevitable.
Right.
I think the problem with it is that it assumes a reasonable Republican leadership that also wants to help solve the problems. But what Mitch McConnell said, I think rather revealingly, was the number one object of Republicans is to make sure Obama's a one-term president. If you want the president to go down in the fall, then it's not clear at all you want the economy to recover. Both Clinton and Reagan won re-elections because the economy was growing after the midterm reverses. And they rode that growing economy into greater popularity. So if your number one priority really is to get rid of Obama, and Republicans think they can take the Senate, a bad economy is going to get blamed on the president, no matter who calls it. So it's not at all clear that there's two that want to dance in this tango, that the Republicans want to compromise at all.
And there are issues that some of these Tea Party candidates who did succeed in getting into office, like Rand Paul, for example, who are talking about balanced budget amendments and things which are really impossible to reconcile.
Well, it's more, I think the Tea Party effect is more the in terrorem effect, the terrorizing of Republican office holders about any cooperation with Democrats. So the Republicans who got beat in primaries by Tea Party people got beat because they reached across the aisle and they supported bipartisan things with Democrats on energy, or they voted for the TARP and the bailout of the banks, and they got hurt. And I think the message that Republican office holders got from that is that they have a base that will punish them if they cooperate with Democrats. And Jim DeMint, the kind of right-wing leader of the Senate, made that explicit.
Yeah.
He said that Trent Lott and others said they have to co-opt us. We're out here. We're going to make sure nobody gets co-opted, by which he means nobody agrees, on anything with Obama. So I think we're looking. There's a kind of all this pressure on Obama to show that he was cooperative and he'd gotten the message and he was abashed and he would be looking for Republican ideas and he would compromise his own position. But I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is the other side isn't interested in that.
So how do progressives move forward given the political environment that we're going to walk into?
Well, it's hard to see anything getting done over the next couple of years, except the economy is really bad. And so I think progressives have to organize independently around a big and bold agenda for jobs and for growth, and organize people who need jobs, organize people who are looking for jobs, organize people who are losing their jobs, and create the kind of energy and populist anger around that question that begins to force a different debate here in Washington. But it's not going to start here, it's going to start out there.
I think for a lot of people who are out of work right now, the idea of gridlock on jobs is a non-starter.
Right. And so I think we've got to make sure that the ideas about how to create jobs are not forgotten in a debate that's about gestures and posturing. And we've got to make sure that the people who are in need, who are hurting, and who are in trouble get organized and get into this debate.
Thank you.